This program is brought to you by Hellenic Cultural Institute, Korifei, Greek dancing for all your cultural events. In the good old town of Beaconsfield, Quebec, today we're cooking some good old traditional American chicken pot pie. He's taking like, hi!
Come on.
So, I'm Helen. Hi everyone and welcome to Flavors. Today we're in Norma Ainsley's beautiful home here in Beaconsfield, and thank you so much for being on our show.
Thank you
and
for having me.
teaching us how to make something that to you it seems pretty simple, but for many of us from other ethnic backgrounds, we might not know how to make the traditional chicken pot pie. Is that correct?
That's right, with a biscuit crust.
With a biscuit, is that what differentiates it from? Because I think Americans do this, and is an Irish dish as well? I'm not sure.
Well, I have a recipe from England.
Okay.
However, because it's biscuit, you know, the southern states use
So they
biscuit,
use
so-
biscuit instead, right? Because I think I've had it maybe with it could be even done with phyllo, perhaps, right?
Yes,
And dough.
Yes.
But we're gonna do your version, like we said, and something good old American. And then perhaps, if we have time, we're gonna prepare some potatoes.
Yes, it's called a hash, and it's my grandmother's hash. She was Irish, so they ate a lot of potatoes. And
Yes.
if you wanted to find a very simple recipe with potatoes and meat, ground beef, that's what
You're
it
of
is.
American background. Are your parents?
No, Canadian, Montreal,
Oh, yes.
Irish and French Canadians.
Okay. But why would you make the American pie?
My husband's American.
Aha, and I hear that he's a big fan of your cooking, and so are many others. And I also know very well, I'm pretending that I don't, but I do know that you're also a pastry chef, right? You have your
Yes, I am.
certificate.
Yes, I do.
So I do feel like we're in very good hands. So let's see, we could get started then, right?
Yes, we can.
Okay, what will we need to make the chicken pot pie
Okay, we're
American?
going to start with the crust. This way, well, the crust.
The crust, sure.
The biscuit part, because we'll let it sit and rest. So we're going to measure the flour, which I've measured. All right, so I'm going to put 380 grams of flour, which is about 2 3/4 cup. And I put it through a sifter. This way, if there's anything in the flour, it catches it, as well as it makes the flour lighter and it will blend better.
Oh.
Because it's gone through a very fine mesh, so the particles will blend
Yes.
more easily.
Right off the
And-
bat, that's something that I probably wouldn't do, you see? So I'm learning something every second. It looks even, see right away, much better, and it will make a nicer crust.
I'm going to put the baking powder, and the baking powder is 1 tablespoon here.
1
which is-
tablespoon.
seems like a lot of baking
Heaping
powder.
one here.
Yes, but you want it to rise, and then of course salt, which you don't really need to do this, but since we have it here, that's fine.
All right.
So now I'm just going to whisk it together so we have it blended.
Pretty simple right now.
So that should blend, and then we're going to add the cream. Oops, I'm going to just need a fork here, and we're going to mix.
Let me see, is that heavy cream?
Yes, it's 35% cream. Excuse me, and
That's what makes it some
it's-
good old pie.
Yeah, 'cause
Good
it
old pie with the
makes
cream.
it rich. Well, we use less butter this way because cream makes butter, of course.
Sure.
So they have different recipes. So we're going to mix in the cream.
How much cream?
This is I just looked. 1 1/3 cup of heavy cream.
A third cup of heavy cream.
1 1/3. Mhm.
Oh, okay, 1 1/3.
Yes.
So, yeah, it looked a little more than a third.
And then we'll add in the butter, which I
We don't traditionally, I think when we make some dough for, say, a pie or something else, I don't remember putting any cream in the.
No.
I don't cook much, but I do bake, so I don't know if it's a similar type of thing. Is this a little trick or something that you need to make it a biscuit?
This is the British recipe that I have from the BBC Good Food magazine. But other recipes that I've come across use more butter and less cream.
Less cream, so it's something like a substitute.
Yes, because you make butter from cream anyways.
The texture looks about right to me. Now, would you be able to do this with, say, a whole wheat type of flour, or wouldn't give the same?
Well, you
Result.
would have to use more liquid.
Okay.
Because the whole wheat would absorb more. It's denser, so.
Oh, yes. It's heavier, isn't it?
That's right, yeah. And you'd have to let it sit longer because, of course, it takes longer to absorb.
I like how I'm pretending, you know, whole wheat flour, you know, but really the cream and butter, I have no problem with that.
It's not so healthy in that respect that it's not whole wheat, but
Yeah, but it's okay. Sure.
it's okay. So
With this dough, how many pies will we be making? Is it one?
it's
Or-
one pie. We may have a bit extra, but it's so nice to have it. I have about 4 chicken breasts. Well, I have 4 chicken breasts here. And in the water, I've added a bit of salt and a bit of sugar and a bit of soy sauce.
Soy sauce, is that a
Yeah,
little
just-
secret too?
Yeah, it's that umami flavor.
Ah, very good.
To lower this.
Sugar, soy sauce, and what else did we say? Water?
Salt.
Salt. Okay.
So I'm just going to put a bit of oil.
You've got all the tools, right?
Yes, and that's the fun part,
Yeah.
except it also takes a lot of space.
But it makes it more fun to work in the kitchen if you have all the right things to do it with.
Yes, definitely.
So now we're talking about, there's 2 carrots we're putting in this recipe,
Yeah, 2 carrots, 1 celery, and 1 onion.
and about a half a cup of peas.
That's right. So now we'll be bringing this to the pan and sautéing this. So
That's good. You test it out with 1 first.
yes, especially if I'm chopping, and I can hear when it starts.
You can hear
They
the
don't
sizzle,
start
huh?
burning, you know, like. So here I'm going to put it all in.
I love the smell of onions when it's sauteing.
And cooking is very appetizing. I'll just put this here.
Yes.
And I'm going to lower this because we want to. Now I'm going to bring this one because it's a bigger ring. I'm going to bring it up to a boil, the water, and we're going to put the carrots in it and cook the carrots. And so while that is happening, I'm going to roll the dough.
Okay. So once the broth boils again, we're going to throw in the carrots.
Yes.
And then we're going to, to save time,
Roll the dough.
perfect.
I'm going to remove the carrots, and we'll be using the broth.
Oh. That looks great.
Well, the broth gets flavored this way. And we'll add the butter. Okay, hot sitting here.
How much butter's in there?
Well, I have it written right here. It is 62.5 grams of butter.
62.5 grams of butter. All good stuff. And how much flour?
Just 55 grams. I'll put this.
We gotta earn it, I said it.
I'll put it back on because it's a bit too hot.
A little broth in there. Oh, look at that, huh?
And it's just gonna.
It almost looks like mashed potatoes. The texture, you know, with the broth and everything. You wouldn't want it too thin because then it'd be like a soup.
That's right.
But who am I to talk? You're the pro here. You have a lot of fans.
Now we can add the carrots
Yes.
in. And I'll just you can take the heat off. And the only thing I have left to do is to cut up the chicken.
We're adding some cream in there.
Yes, the rest. And some salt and pepper.
Great.
Salt and pepper. And I put salt in my hands so you don't get a mistake and a whole lot comes out. You have more control over what's going in, and some pepper.
Always fresh ground pepper.
Yeah, whatever you like. White
Yeah.
pepper if you like, because this is mixed,
Oh,
white and black pepper. But when you're making a white sauce, you kind of want to use white pepper, but this is going to be on top of something that's in a pot. So
inside, yeah.
we'll use the black and white mix. All right, so we're going to dice the chicken breasts. the poached chicken breast tips. We're just going to make cubes.
Oh yeah, they look cooked through.
And we'll add it to the sauce and put it in the oven with the biscuit.
Sorry.
Put the chicken in here. We could just as easily mix it in the broth or mix the broth in here once the chicken is in.
It's all gonna go to the same place in the end, right?
That's right, yes. It's your personal choice.
Yeah.
Gonna
Look
put
at that.
this in. And
This looks already so good. I mean, we couldn't even eat it right now. I'm sure it's still, I mean, it is cooked.
yes.
Do you ever do that, to the truth? Do you ever just grab a spoon like a full and just...
Oh yes, that's the benefit about being a cook. You get to
Yeah.
taste as you go.
Yes, ma'am. I don't blame
And
you.
You're supposed to make sure it does taste good.
Of course.
I have the perfect excuse.
That's right.
Okay, so I'm just going to cut this into wedges here.
Oh, so you're cutting it up.
Yes.
Oh. I thought you were just gonna throw it on top there.
First we're going to,
Like a pizza.
yes.
Does it matter if you leave a space or overlap them?
No. It's just if you want them to all fit.
You overlap the next piece. But will it come out, the sauce on top? If you don't,
well,
if you leave a space?
Well, it has to have some
Like it's gonna
vent.
rise?
Yeah.
Okay.
So we're going to mix some.
What are we doing here?
We're going to mix a bit of milk into the egg yolk.
Okay. With your little mini whisk, how cute is that? Okay. Yeah.
Something for every side.
Ah, yes.
And
I would
then-
probably use a little fork, but since these exist, why not? They're lovely.
And then we're going to brush the top
Yes.
and bake it.
Oh, can't wait to see the result.
Just put it on here so if it bubbles over, it doesn't bubble over into the oven.
Taking precaution. This is our final step then. We're
Okay. Put it in the oven for 20 minutes. At
20 minutes?
400 degrees, 425. So
That's all it needs, huh?
Yep.
Because like I said, it's already cooked pretty much.
basically
So
to cook the biscuit.
Later on Flavors, it's a lamb festival at the Greek community of Montreal. While the pie was in the oven, Norma put us to work. We had to peel all the potatoes to prepare the next dish. To make her Granny Barry's famous potatoes, you put the chopped potatoes to a boil. Then you remove the potatoes and add the onions in the same water. Wait up to 5 minutes. Remove the pot from the heat and add about 2 kilos of ground beef, mixing it up little by little. Put it back on the heat for a couple of minutes. While we waited, we mashed the potatoes.
So what is it that Dennis, your husband, was telling us before? You're quite the practical joker, huh?
Oh, well, yes.
About April Fools?
I think about it all year.
Oh, really?
Yes.
What you're gonna do?
Yes. So then this way, when it comes, I'm not running around like crazy and saying, "Oh, I missed the opportunity." So
And you made these brownies
I
that
made-
were...
yes, brownies that were cut into the shape of an E, and so they were brown E's, but you could eat them.
So here we are, the moment of truth. It's the final step, right? In your grandma's hash?
Yes.
Okay, Grandma Betty's?
Granny Barry.
Granny Barry, okay, sorry.
So we
Let's
have
do it, yeah.
the potatoes here mashed in a larger bowl, and we're going to add the onions and ground beef that was cooked in the potato water.
So you don't want too much water in there right now?
Not too
straining
much
in.
water, but we do need some water because we don't use milk
Okay.
or cream or butter until you know. So basically, this is it.
Wow.
What I'll do is we'll put some in a bowl here. My diamond spoon.
The way Grandma used to serve it?
See, it's.
Yeah.
I don't think it needs water, but
I think it looks fine to me. I don't know how the texture of it.
I didn't taste it. the only thing I would have to taste it. So she would take some butter.
Well, now we know it's going to be better. So each serving, you top it?
Yes, she would put the butter on the plate, on the serving on the plate, and not mix it in. And she was generous with the butter. I'll just put little cubes. And then she'll take a fork. And as it melts, you should make little pools into the fork.
So there you have it, guys. Some good old traditional chicken pot pie with some hash here, with ground beef inside, just like Granny made them. I'd like to thank very much our guest today, our cook of the day, Norma. You did a wonderful job. Thank you so much for opening your lovely home, and thank you to your husband as well, and to your lovely pets that they made us have a lot of fun earlier when I came in. A nice little surprise, and we heard them barking a little bit here and there. But I'd like to say that it's a very nice and cozy place, environment that you've created, and we just feel like we've been here before. I can't wait to try your dish. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me.
Really
Coming to
appreciate
my
it.
home.
So thank you all for watching Flavors, but there's one thing left to do, and that's give a taste to this beautiful meal. Let me put it to the taste. Thank you. Let me get that butter in there.
Yes.
Oh, that's delicious. Thumbs up, Norma. Congratulations. Well.
The team of Flavors visited the annual Lamb Festival at the Greek community of Montreal, hosted by the Greek Consul General, Mr. Thanos Kafopoulos. Chronia Pola, it's a way to give good wishes during the holidays to all the Greeks. Tell us what you're doing again this year, which is such a successful event.
We have 25 lambs for Easter. They are all for free, because we also have wine and salad and various things. They're all for free, the wine also. It's for the elderly, for the senior citizens of the community. I don't know, there are a lot of people here.
So many people, not just the elderly, but everybody together support.
Like, I don't know, it's probably more than 1,000. Anyway, we'll hope that there's going to be enough food. But the idea is to bring them together, to help them during these, if you wish, the people who don't have the means. And also, there's a chance for everybody to give something to donate to the schools, to the Greek schools in Montreal. Which we have 5 schools here with 1,500 students. They are
very impressive.
Daily, and they are primary schools, but they teach English, French, and Greek. And they follow the French system. But anyway, they are very successful.
It's a very, very good cause. I understand that we do this on the outdoors, but it is Montreal, everybody, so sometimes it does rain. Yes. And look at the success even indoors today. Yes.
here today. We have Mr. Zisis.
Yes, that's a third year we do it in the Greek community. The first year it was a very sunny day, was nice, but the last 2 years we had unfortunately the rain, but it did not stop us. We have the second, our second plan that's served inside. We have inside about 50 tables, about 600 people that. Over 25 lambs. You can
I see people curious.
Yes, you can see here. You know, we have about 11 lambs.
So what time did you get here to get all
I
this
was
stuff?
here at 7:15 this morning. The lamps were already tied last night, I believe, and we had to start the fire and prepare the charcoal.
What's your name?
And Emmanuel Nicolain.
Okay.
You know, it's a lot of work behind that. It's a lot, you know, the general counsel, you know, he did a very nice job. That's the third year, you know, he makes over 25 lamps every year. So it's a lot of preparation. But
It's a good cause
yes,
for the Greek.
For the Greek schools, yes.
I have a very important question. How long do you think it's going to take for everybody to eat all this today?
About 3 o'clock, I think it's going to, it's
10 minutes.
It's 12:30. We're going to start. I believe 3 o'clock is going to be nothing, just bones.
That's right, just
Bones, eh?
maybe the bones.
And maybe the bones.
Deputy Mayor of Montreal, as well as City Councilor of Park Extension, Ms. Mary Deros, and a pleasure to have you with us today. How did you find the lamb?
Succulent. Makes you want to. There's no way that you can eat the lamb that was served today, but with a fork and a spoon, especially plastic. You pick it up with your hands and you lick your fingers afterwards. It was delicious.
There really is something different about having it on the spit as opposed to in the oven.
My parents came from Samos, and in Samos we actually take the back of the lamb and we stuff it and we cook it in the oven.
Wow, that's a nice little, that would be a nice shot.
It is a Samian tradition. So with all the herbs and the stuffing, the meat takes on a delicious flavor. And also you still get that crisp skin on top that I love so much, but it's wonderful for our cholesterol.
Right, for sure. We don't worry about that here. It's okay.
But you know, I must say that the General Council of Greece is leaving in 2 months. This is the 4th year that he's offering about 25 cooked lamb with fries and vegetables.
Just offering it.
And he offers it to the seniors with their families. And as you can see, the hall is full. And I hope that the person who replaces him will keep on with this tradition.
It's a great one, Mary. Thank you so much.
Next week on Flavors, learn how to cook a traditional Greek recipe.